What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Virgin Galactic. It's been a while since I've done a Virgin video, so I want to go over some of the current data points, what short's been doing, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that said, let's get right to it. So on Friday, it did go down 5.19%. Very volatile day, so 85 cents the low, 91 cents the high, 19.4 million shares being traded, 25 is the average. So despite the somewhat okay volume, a lot of that being done was linked to algorithmic trading, not necessarily long investors or institutions, because as you can kind of see, last transactions above $100,000 did occur on the 14th. So that was when Virgin did have its nice spike up to around $1.40 range, $1.50. So institutions were involved at that day, but since then it's been absolutely crickets. So like I said, a lot of just the volume that's been happening over this last little bit is linked to algorithmic trading. And in Virgin's case, that's not necessarily a good thing. Of course, shorts most likely as well are able to really dictate exactly what does happen with Virgin behind the scenes, especially without a lot of good support or capital getting in. When it comes to Virgin though, like I said, it's been a while since I've done a video. So the last couple updates, they actually did have their earnings on the 7th, which they actually did surprisingly beat on their earnings per share. They missed slightly on their revenue, but in my opinion, nothing really crazy. I think the market was favoring more so the future guidance rather than the key metrics, and their future guidance was kind of neutral. Nothing really crazy that incentivized anyone to go out and buy Virgin at that moment, nor did it really incentivize anyone to sell. So it was somewhat neutral. And this is also why you didn't really see much happen with the stock price. A lot of volatility, but that's linked to the technicals, fib levels very wide, and all the other fun jazz. But so I'm going to talk about technicals and everything like that. But in my opinion, analysts are somewhat neutral as well on it. So these are some of the latest analyst ratings that did come out associated to their earnings. So last one was done 14 days ago, $2 buy rating by TD Cowen, Oliver, who has a 52% success rating. Then you had 2 17 days ago and then 19. So $1.10, 75 cents, 350. Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo, and so NOAA, 45% success rating, 85% success rating, and unfortunately that good rating was done by Wells Fargo, who gave a 75-cent price target. And I guess lo and behold, that's kind of where we are right now. So not necessarily the best, so analysts aren't really convinced that clearly it is going to trend higher. And while I'm actually on Interactive Brokers, I'll give you a quick overview of what the Elliott Wave technicals are pointing to. So it does have a pivot point of $1.07. So for as long as Virgin is below $1.07, then it is anticipated to get to roughly that 40 to 52 cent range. So not necessarily the best. So hopefully it's able to push a little bit higher above that $1.07, on which it'll be between that $1.27 and $1.39. So let me know your thoughts on that. And as well, while I'm on here, latest Morningstar report, it does show the fair market value for Virgin being $2.86. So if you're looking for all of this good information, such as everything I mentioned and so much more, Interactive Brokers has it completely free. Link in the description below and also the comments. So highly recommend you guys taking advantage of that. So that's some of the updates ever since, or I guess as a result of their recent earnings. You've also had a couple of Form 4s that did come out. Nothing really crazy. One on May the 22nd and then 2 on May the 8th. All were linked to taxes, and very, very small amounts, in fact. So I don't really see any reason to even bring this up. But again, I just wanted to bring up all the updates. But when it comes down to Virgin being shorted, I think what happened on this day, so the 14th, when everything was squeezing, that is a very telltale sign that Virgin is just excessively shorted, because I don't know if anyone else caught on, but that was when the memes were going absolutely crazy. Anything that was overdone by shorts was just going up like crazy. So yeah, I think right now shorts did return quite a lot of shares in that time period and haven't fully recovered. So as you can kind of see, 26.61% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 100.74 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization 81.31, and you can kind of see just it did go from about 30.14% of the short interest to roughly where it is now, so at that 26.6. Doesn't show any updates from Friday because today is Monday. And even though the market's closed, happy Memorial Day to all the Americans out there. But obviously Ortex doesn't really acknowledge that, so whatever else. So yeah, kind of interesting the fact that it did squeeze on at least the 14th. Institutions were very much getting all over Virgin, both on the secondary market as well as a dark pool. So these are all the transactions that did occur on the dark pool, and look at the 14th, absolutely crazy. Dark pool is often enough linked to shorting as well as just large institutions. So it'll be very interesting to see the latest round of 13Fs on what institutions did actually do, whether they accumulated more shares or if they've been selling out. So that'll be interesting to see, and that'll probably be coming out most likely August, give or take, mid to late August, so still a couple more months. And when it comes to options based on Friday, $68,000 in calls, $67,000 in puts, very evenly divided, but sentiment wise, 59% of all the options being done were bearish and anticipating for it to turn down. So going into this upcoming week, so with it at 85 cents and change, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 72 cents will be that next strong support that you'll really want to watch for Virgin to hold out for, and then vice versa, $1.02 will be that next strong target / resistance. Very wide gaps, like I mentioned, so just anticipate a hell of a lot of volatility. But like I kind of signaled already, that $1.07, that's also a pivot point based on the technicals. So you really want to watch for Virgin, hopefully to fight back above that $1.07. And keep in mind, like I did insinuate in the past, technically with Virgin below $1, this is where it could get into reverse stock split territory. So if it does trade for 30 consecutive trading days below that $1 mark, this is where things get a little bit sticky. So definitely watch for that as well. And if this 72 cent doesn't hold, then anticipate 53, and that would be another low for Virgin. So right now, the technicals don't really look all the best, so it is lower percentile of the boiling band. Stochastic, you do see a bearish deviation as well. It is at around 8, so that is considered very oversold, which is weird because you also do see the fear and greed index. It started to pull down, so it was at around 64 to 68 last week, so that's under the greed category. So despite the massive amount of greed, you haven't seen much buying happening with Virgin, so kind of shows that there is something fundamentally wrong with the company itself. Aside from that, number of retail investors have been getting out ever since it looks like the 14th. So I don't know, technicals don't look all that great, and like I kind of insinuated now for the third time, shorts have been just using Virgin as a puppet. So I get a lot of people really do like Virgin and maybe are just hopeful for the foreseeable future, maybe 2020 or like second half of 2024, possibly 2025, but I think there is more pain still coming for Virgin. And basically, I actually did say that during my last video as well, that I really like Virgin, but I think the whole optimism is just gone out the window. You can tell that based on the options, just the fact that no institution is willing to even touch it nor buy it, even at these discounted prices, very close to its 52-week and all-time low. It's just a very bad recipe for disaster. So let me know your thoughts on Virgin. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying Virgin? Have you been selling? What have you been doing behind the scenes? And what is your thoughts on their recent earnings? I unfortunately did take a little bit of a break, like 9-10 day break during that time period. So I actually didn't really participate in their earnings, but what was your guys' takeaway? Was it overall bullish? What stood out to you? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And one final thing, even though Virgin might be trending down a little bit more, definitely take advantage of some free promos. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7. So a pretty kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.